Hey, welcome to Private Practice Lounge. I'm Janessa Borges, a first-gen Latina determined to teach you how to open up your own successful, full-paying private practice. Now, around this time of year, around December, I love to map out my future upcoming year. And so here's the question. Do you have a hard time kind of reining in all of your ideas or knowing that you want to accomplish something big, but you're not exactly sure how you're going to make that happen? Well, my friend, I have you covered. So the first thing is I'm going to go over my personal process. I'm going to screen share a little bit. Don't worry about taking notes because I'm also going to share a resource. I'm going to put the link below. So watch this whole thing through. Then you can download the freebie that kind of walks you through. Come back and complete it then. So are you ready to get things started? So the first thing that happens is when we are entrepreneurs, therapists, not therapists, you have this natural energy to want to grow. And that is a good thing, my friends. So I want to be very clear, whether you have already ventured into private practice, whether you want to start your practice but don't know where, whether you've started a practice and want to transition from part-time to full-time, whether you want to leave the business that you're in or the employment that you're in, whether you want to scale your practice, which means you want to work less and make more, and there is no weird catch to that. It's just different strategies, whether it's selling supplemental income, whether it's selling a course or writing a book or hiring employees, whatever that looks like to you. It is a completely personal thing. But what usually happens is people don't know how to get there and where to go. So I'm going to share with you my exact steps. Ready? Okay, here we go. Number one, I want you to go back to last year and I want you to write down all of your accomplishments. Big or small, I don't want you to hold back. It could be personal, it could be in business, anything that you either accomplished that you didn't set up to accomplish or something that you wanted that you actually completed, right? And I'm going to give you some examples of these, right? Whether it's opening up your practice, stepping out of insurance, hosting a networking event, planning a retreat, hiring your first employee, whatever that is, what is it that you accomplished last year that you are proud of? Now, there is nothing as too small on this list. I want you to go ahead and I want you to, the same way that we always want our clients to start with their wins, I want you to start off with yours. Now, here's the thing. Because of this process I do every single year, I actually have my list from last year, which we're going to get to for this year. But if you have a list written down, whether it's a journal or things you knew you wanted to do, if you have a list, even better. If you don't have one, don't worry because we are going to set up your list for next year coming up now. Ready? Number two, I want you to brain dump. What does that mean? I want you to freely, completely put down every single thing that you want to accomplish, whether it be for this upcoming year or a long-term goal. This can be anything from taking more vacation, scaling your practice, making more, working less, spending more time with my family, being less stressed, whatever the goal is. Writing a book, recording a movie. Think and dream big and crazy. The bigger, the better. And I'll tell you exactly why. I want you to put it all down. And here's the thing. Nobody is going to have access to this but you. So please don't hold back. I want you to dream as far as you can dream. There is nothing that is too crazy. In fact, when you say, Janessa, this is just too crazy to put down, that's when I'm saying, please make sure that goes down on the paper. Okay, so take a few seconds, write it down, a few minutes. This is probably the biggest part of the assignment because I want you to really dream and put everything down. Once you do, we're going to move on to step 3, right? I want you to also think about what is it that you wanted to accomplish last year. We went through the accomplishments you did make. I want you to go and think back, what is it that you couldn't or didn't accomplish for whatever reason that you do want to add to this upcoming year's list. Now, don't get me wrong. If there is something that you had on your to-do wish list and you decided against it for whatever reason, not because it was too hard, but because you decided, I don't know, I'm going to put all of my energy into a podcast, but you know what? Everybody I know is doing YouTube and I want to be on video and then I can repurpose the video into a podcast. If there's anything that you decided wasn't a good fit for you, that's fine. I'm thinking about adding in things, not to criticize yourself, but things that you didn't accomplish it wasn't the right time. You didn't have the ability financially or with support to be able to do so that you are hoping to accomplish this year because we are going to make it happen. Okay, let's review just where we are. First of all, we went through our list of accomplishments from last year, or this year, I should say, from 2023, or whatever year you're watching this, right? you are going to go ahead and put all of the dreams, goals that you have for the upcoming year. And then you're also going to put down whatever leftover goals you didn't reach this year that you want to apply for next year. Good? All right, let's keep going. I want you to think about how you're going to break these goals down. What do I mean? We're going to baby chunk them. I want you to think about what goals are longer term goals, and I'm going to use writing a book, right? I've always wanted to write a book. I have 2 in me. They're coming to you soon, but I know that that is a longer term goal. That is not something that I can turn around and have done. If I wanted to put my energy into it, I could, but I know just because of the way that I have everything in my life on my plate that I'm not going to turn that around right away. So that's going to be a longer term goal, right? So I'm going to put book is a longer term goal. Then I want you to think, what is a shorter term goal? Here we go into the nitty gritty. Is it opening my practice? Is it getting more clients? Is it stepping out of insurance? What is a smaller short-term goal? And here's how you're going to assess that. You're going to look at your long-term goals and your short-term goals as to what can you accomplish in the next 3 months, 6 months. Longer term is a year or more. Okay? Then I want you to look at this list that you have now divided. Feel free to pause this anytime or to go back after you get that freebie. Look at that long-term goal list. Look at the short-term goal list. And then I want us to start breaking them down by quarter and monthly. Quarter, welcome to the business world. There are 4 quarters in the year. You're going to learn that when you start doing taxes. So I think of it as seasons. I'm from Florida, so sometimes they get a little muffled for me, but spring, summer, fall, winter, right? So think of it in seasons. What can I get done in this season of the year, in this season of my business this year? So that's going to be, you're taking that big list of a goal that you want for this year, and you're going to bring it up. What part of the year can I get things done in? And then we're going to take it a step further. Now the next step is you're going to break it down and see what can I accomplish monthly. Again, I'm going to do a screen share I'll add in here for you. But an example is if I want to write a book, that's my long-term goal, right? What do I need to do now to get closer to where I want to be then? So I'm going to run with this book thing, right? So let's say quarterly, I want to have written, let's say quarter 1, I want to have an outline and a draft of the first 2 chapters, making this up, right? Then let's say quarter 2, I want to have another 3 chapters. Then quarter 3, I want to have another 3 chapters. And then by quarter 4, I want to have another 2 chapters, or I want to already have finalized the book. Like that's my deadline, is to finalize the book and have a draft to be able to submit. So now what I'm taking is this big goal of writing a book and I'm breaking it down into smaller pieces. So it doesn't feel so impossible. And here's the thing, if we just think of one big goal, we don't exactly have a path to get there, right? So now we're going to break it down by month. I'm going to share with you, my gift to you is going to be access to the template that I've created in something called Trello. I'll put the link to that software as well. But when you download the freebie, you're also going to get access to my template that you can then copy and use for yourself. So you're going to come back to this video and you're going to go through all these steps by yourself. Okay, here's the mindset piece. I want you to think about all the goals that you have. I want you to think about who do you need to become to achieve those goals. Now, it's not who do you need to mimic, who do you need to like pretend to be. It's this version of you, right? That you're thinking we're going based on that book, writing that book. What is this individual, this version of you that has written this book? How does she feel after she wrote that book? What does she do? How does she show up in life and in the community? How does she serve because she's written this book? That confidence that you're going to harness from that future version of yourself, I want you to apply it while you're going through this process, because you need to start bringing and empowering that version of you into this process. So that same confidence, if you knew you couldn't fail, is one of my favorite lines. You do it. Let's go for this. Let's go ahead and use that same energy to get this book written or your practice open or to double your income or to hire assistants or to grow into a group practice, whatever your goals are. And again, I love business stuff, but this is in life too. Like, do you want to travel more? Do you want to spend more time with your family? Do you want to tap into the hobbies that you love, like dancing, things that you haven't been able to do because you've been so focused on preparing for your practice or growing your practice? Okay, so who do you want to become? I want to be very clear. I don't want you to compare yourself to anybody else. It's very easy for us to start comparing like, well, here's where she is or here's where this person is. First of all, we don't know the beginning of their journey. People like to show up on camera. They like to show up and serve, especially on today's social media age. It's pictured, it's pretty, it's bluffered, it's filtered. People don't show us the messy. I think some people are getting more comfortable showing us messy, but people don't show us the messy. We see the end product, right? We don't see how many years it took to get to some place. We don't know the tools that they had, the finances they had, the support that they had from their loved ones. We don't know the roadblocks that they faced or how many times they fell before they got back up, before they ended up having this thing that you want. So please don't compare your journey to anybody else's, because there's only one of you and people are waiting for you. Here's a big one I want you to think about. And again, I like to plan for success, prepare for failure. So what do I mean by this? I don't want to be negative Nelly, but I do want to be realistic. So I love being proactive. So here's what I want us to think about. What are the possible hurdles to get to these goals that you've established, right? Is it not having enough time, being too tired, not having financial access to some of the things or resources that you want to use? And just so I am clear, there are lots of free resources or lots of inexpensive resources. It's all about choosing your growth pattern, and it's about choosing what you feel that you need to get started professionally and still make progress, but not aiming for perfection, because that is a dangerous, slippery slope, okay? Back to the question. What are some of the hurdles that you can face? Some of the things that get in your way, some of the possible oops, or oh crap, what do I do now? I want you to think about what could come up that'll derail you from these goals, but I don't want you to stop there. I want you to come up with solutions. So what can I do proactively to make sure that that is not an issue? What can I do that if this does come up, even though I proactively planned for it, I have a plan in place? And I don't want you to have plan A and plan B. I want to go all the way to plan C, right? So let's say I feel like my kid's schedule is going to be really busy and I'm going to be really tired and I don't have the time. Okay, we're going to talk about time blocking in a different video. Time block your schedule. What can I do? I can time block. I can ask for my husband to help me with drop off or pick up. I can block out one late evening a day to write for my book. You can plan for these circumstances. What happens when nobody's available? Okay, then I can plan during a different period of the time. Maybe I plan to do things while my kids are in school and shift some other things around. You have to do what works for you in this season of your life. So I don't want you to come up with excuses of why you can't. I want you to come up with solutions of how you are going to make it happen, said lovingly. My two other mental bonus points is dream big. Don't hold back. Listen, a lot of the people that I work with, fear is what holds them back. And for me, more than fear is regret. My greatest fear is to regret not taking a risk or not taking a chance or not showing up. So dream big, don't hold back. Again, you don't have to share this list with anybody else. And then my final tip, make sure that there's balance. There's so many things we work so hard for and we sacrifice so much for, but make sure that you are creating time for yourself, because the work that we do is hard and you want to create balance in what it is that you are setting up for yourself. So always make sure that we can dream big, but our timelines have to be realistic, right? Our expectations have to be realistic. So it's not that things aren't adjustable, but you have to be realistic insofar as your goal. And then if there are any bigger long-term goals in there, whether it's writing a book or opening your practice, one of the big things that I work on in different sections is I also want you to give yourself a deadline. When do you want to have accomplished this? For me, it's usually December. So is it December of the year where you're reevaluating all your goals and setting up for next year? That's kind of usually my deadline for the bigger goals. Or the smaller goals is something else. Maybe I want to speak more, right? So part of my work is researching where I want to speak, finding out when these organizations are having their conventions, and then when the deadlines are. So my first goal to speaking more and increasing my reach is submitting proposals to speak at these events. So the first step is finding out where they are, submitting, scheduling it out. So it's little baby steps that get you to your longer goal. Okay, I'm rambling. I'm super excited. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you subscribe and you'll be the first to know when a video is out. And come on, if you like this video and you found it helpful, please like. Don't forget to grab your free resource. It's going to be under this video. It has been an honor, a pleasure as always. I can't wait to see you next time. Bye.